that it may not be possible to pause the recording. I'll share the meeting rules with you. Please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meeting will result in removal from meeting room without any reason or warning. Please ensure that your noise-making devices are either switched off or on silent mode. Please speak responsibly on religion, sex, and politics in your speeches. As far as possible, please keep your videos on, audio off, and applause flowing throughout. Be the kind of audience for others you would like to have for yourself. Toastmaster of the day, table topic master, and journal evaluator. Please ensure a smart audio video check before handing over to each speaker. Role players, please rename yourself as a role player, your name and your club name. Please acquaint yourself with the role of the timer. Timer of the day. You will be showing us, sharing your screen or showing us the cards. Sorry, this is for the timer to let us know if they will be showing the screen or showing us the cards.
Timer is logging in, so we can continue for now. Thank you.
Okay. We encourage you to use the Zoom emoticons generously to encourage role players. We sincerely request you not to send chat messages to everyone and definitely not to the speaker on stage. In fact, refrain from chatting altogether and focus on the speaker on stage. Reiterating, please stay on mute until specifically requested to unmute. Now I would like to introduce the presiding officer, Kapil Kakkar. Please take over and start with the meeting.
Thank you,
Thank
Ruchita.
you.
Good morning, all the members and the guests. So before I turn over it to guests, I would like to welcome new addition in our Blue Quest family, that is Amit Tandon. Amit, welcome to Blue Quest Club. And could you please give us your quick introduction?
Hi, thank you so much, Kapil. I am Amit Tandon. I was basically born in Kanpur. I completed my education from Kanpur till 10, post which I joined Sardar Patel Vidyalaya in Delhi. After that, I did my graduation from Symbiosis Institute of Technology in Pune in computer science. So basically, I'm a computer science engineer, post which I started my journey with IBM. I was with IBM for 3 years. Then I joined a startup, and now I'm with Here Solutions India Private Limited as a senior process design engineer. So I love. So apart from the technical and nerdy side to me, I love photography and I love traveling, and that is basically about me in a nutshell.
Thank you, Amit. And if you could quickly let us know what brought you here in Blue Quest.
So actually, I've been wanting to join a Toastmasters since a pretty long time, but there was always that initial hurdle that you don't know people and you don't how to jump into something unknown. So Swarendra here, he's actually related to me. He's my grandmom's brother-in-law. So then he suggested me that right now everything is happening on video conferencing, and basically everything is happening over virtually. So you don't need to be anywhere. So why don't you just join our group for now? And then once actual meets start happening again, you can look for something which is closer to your place, because currently I'm based in Mussoorie, Landor to be specific. So it's a little, going down to Dehradun so Mussoorie does not have a Toastmasters club. even going down to Dehradun is quite a challenge. And you cannot, I mean, it's a 2-hour drive one way. So
Thank you, Amit. Welcome again.
thank you so much.
Okay, now I would like to turn over to Amelia. Amelia, could you please give us your quick introduction? Amelia, can you hear us? Probably not. Naveen?
Hello, good morning, dear friends, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's always a pleasure to connect with my dear friends, and this is the best platform to connect. All right, so like the purpose I'm out here is to again hear some good stories, and the best time to hear them is early in the morning. It really revitalizes you and makes your day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Naveen. Raj sir, if you can, are you in a position to speak, or else we can move to Gayatri?
Hello everyone, I'm Raj Mehta. I've just come into my office. I'm setting up my equipments, and thank you very much.
Gayatri, hope your throat is fine.
It's not my throat, it's my wisdom tooth.
Oh,
All those who are seeing me for the first time, I don't usually speak like this. I am maybe not best, but I am fine.
Gayatri, are you losing your wisdom or you are gaining it?
The thing is, the wisdom reached a height where it took form of a tooth which started pricking not just in my gums but also in the gut of the society. So, for the greater good, I decided to sacrifice my extra wisdom in the spirit of togetherness. I don't want anybody else to feel inferior to me.
Okay.
That is why I removed it off.
So some wisdom lost and some gained by others.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I can't smile well because then it hurts over here.
Understand.
Thank you so much, Kapil.
okay. Thank you. Hope you get better soon. Haritika?
Good morning, everyone. It's always a pleasure to join Wednesday morning at Blue Quest. And that's over from my side. Over to you.
Thank you, Haritika. All right. So now it's time to start the meeting by handing over the stage to our T-Mod. And our T-Mod is someone who is very foodie, but interestingly, he does not drink. And I can say one thing about him, that he can survive in a 3-degree temperature with a half sleeve shirt, but I wonder why he is wearing jacket today. So let me invite Toastmaster of the day, Rupinder.
There was an ascetic, a fakir, a saint, sitting by the riverside, looking at the river flowing by. A person walked up to him and asked him, "What are you doing?" To which the ascetic replied, "I am waiting for the river to finish flowing so that I can cross the river." The person said, "You're crazy. The river will never stop flowing." An ascetic said, "So it is with life. We are so caught up in our daily chores that the life passes us by. Life is like that river. We will have to get into the river and cross it so that we can deal with life." Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Now, this was a story that was being told to us in a training session. Normally, people would be requested to contemplate, and then they would be asked if there were any questions. And the trainer duly asked, "Are there any questions that I can answer?" My hand went up. And he said, yes, Rupinder, what is your question? Is the ascetic still sitting there or has he moved on? That was my question. And that is my theme for today. The horrible jokes, the horrible humor, which does not fail to elicit a response in the form of a smile. But the first response is, why am I here? Before I move on with the theme and before I tell you another string of jokes, let me tell you how this meeting is going to flow. Today we'll have two prepared speeches, and both the prepared speeches are by distinguished Toastmasters. These speeches will be evaluated by the respective speech evaluators. I will be calling them out in due course of time. But after that, we will have a table topic session, which will be taken care of by the original humor master in this club, Kapil Kakkar. And then there will be the most important section in the meeting. Before that, Alisa, could you unmute yourself? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dwayne.
Dwayne who?
Drain the tub. I'm drowning. Now, if you thought that was a horrible joke, you cannot blame me for that, because this was a joke told to me by our general evaluator for today. So I am not alone in my quest for finding the horrible in the humor. And I will now hand it over the stage to our general evaluator, Alisa Schneider, to introduce the supplementary role players.
Thank you so much, Rupinder. And yes, that was my joke, as horrible as it may be. So next time, don't ask me for jokes. So I get it. We're on to the new year. We're not thinking about New Year's resolutions anymore, hopefully. Hopefully you've already started on some. And what will be next is to get to the end of that year and decide, have I reached all these goals? And that's exactly what we're going to do in this meeting tonight. As general evaluator, my goal is to see that this meeting flows in an excellent manner, and then at the end to report on that and let you know how did we do with all those goals that we set out to accomplish. Now, I won't be alone. I have a tag team that will be accompanying me in this journey and in this process. And they're also going to be evaluating different things, and at the end, they will give their report as well. So for that, I would like to call out our first member of the night, which is our timer, Abjinder Singh, to explain his role. Over to you, Abjinder.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator. Today, I'll be the timer for the day, and I'll be taking down the timing for each of the activities, 3 sections. The first section is the table topics, where the limit is 2 minutes. So I'll give a green card at 1 minute. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll raise a yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll raise a red card. Similarly, for speeches, which are at the length of 5 to 7 minutes, I'll give out the green card at 5 minutes, a yellow card at 6 minutes, and a red card at 7 minutes. And similarly, at the last section, which is the evaluations, which are for 2 to 3 minutes, I'll raise a green card at 2 minutes. At 2:30, I'll raise a yellow card, and 3 minutes, I'll raise a red card. And at the end of the meeting, when I'm called upon, I'll give out my evaluation of all the 3 sections and for the meeting. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abjinder, for that excellent and complete explanation of your role. I would like next to proceed to our second member of tonight, who will help us evaluate this meeting, will help us meet those targets that we have. And that is our counter, Sheila McIntyre. Over to you, Sheila.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the yaw counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for words and count those that would be inappropriate, such as well, so, you know, or a double crutch. Double crutch being repeating a phrase twice. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker has used these expressions. So let's make it a meeting without these words tonight. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sheila, for setting our goals for this meeting of 2021. And hopefully we can do our very best to meet those goals tonight. Next, and last but not least, we have our grammarian, Amelia Said, who will be explaining her role. Over to you, Amelia.
Thank you, Ma'am General Evaluator, and a very good morning to everyone. I am your grammarian for the day. I'll make a note of the good usage and not so good usages during the speeches throughout the meeting. Well, as a grammarian of the day, it's my responsibility to give a word of the day. And today's word in sync with the theme is witticism. witticism, witticism, which means a witty remark. I would want to give few examples so that you can understand how it is. And it is a noun, so we can use it in sentences like, the comedian was loved for his witticism, or the teacher didn't always appreciate the witticism from the class clown. So let's use this word. I'll make a note how many times who uses this word, and I'll present my report when the general evaluator calls me. Over to you, Ma'am General Evaluator.
Thank you, Amelia, for that excellent description of your role. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, tonight we have 3 goals for this meeting. To stay in charge of the time and keep track of that, to make sure that we keep our ahs and ums to a minimum, and also to use the word of the day in excellent grammar, word of the day being witticism. I don't know if I have much witticism in me, but I'll give it my best shot. Having said that, my general report section, we will adjourn later, and I pass it now to our Toastmaster of the night, Rupinder Singh. Over to you, Rupinder.
Thank you, Sheila. Love the fact that you've taken extra effort to get my name pronounced right. Not many people are capable of that. Thank you so very much. So now we begin with the prepared speeches section. And as far as witticism goes, it doesn't get bigger than this. Our first speaker today will be delivering not 1, but 2 speeches as a part of her The Power of Humor in Impromptu Speaking project. Timer, please note that since the speaker will be delivering 2 speeches on random topics that will be assigned to her by me, the speaker will be timed individually for both the speeches. You will show the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and the red card at 3 minutes. The speaker has a grace of 30 seconds on both the sides. Now, before I call Shiv Priya on stage, you know, there was a time when Shiv Priya's name became Shik Priya, Shikpriya. Can anyone tell me why, except for Shiv Priya, because she's heard the joke?
Absolutely clueless.
All right. It became Shik Priya because Shiv Priya was traveling at the speed of light. And at the speed of light, V equals C. That was a physics joke that Sheldon Cooper would be proud of. Now, let me invite on stage and spotlight our speaker 1 for the day, Shivpriya Gauri. Before I proceed, let me ask her if she to do an audio video check.
Hi, everybody. Am I audible and visible?
You are clearly visible and you are audible, although your background is kind of melding in. So just be careful with your hand gestures when you are speaking because you might not be able to see your hands. Otherwise, everything is good. Shivpriya Gauri is going, before I call Shivpriya on stage, I will also spotlight her evaluator, or actually her video is not turned on. I will ask Haritika to please read out her speech objectives.
Shivpriya is delivering her speech from level 4, engaging humor. The purpose of the project is for the member to develop their method for giving impromptu speeches and practice adapting rehearsed stories during a presentation.
All right. So I get to assign Shivpriya a random topic. I will choose the first topic. If you've got any topic for Shivpriya, please feel free to share it with me in private chat. Do not send it to everybody. The sport that Shivpriya is, when I asked her if there were if there was a list of topics, she simply said, just give me a random topic. Shivpriya, your first topic will be dark humor. You will be delivering a eulogy at Rupinder's funeral. A eulogy at Rupinder's funeral. Shivpriya.
We are all gathered here to celebrate a gigantic life that was there on the face of earth. Finally, I can drink. Do you know what's the problem with Rupinder? Despite being a foodie, he cannot drink. And that's a very, 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 very sad thing to do. Do you know how difficult it is for me to be friends with him? A friend who does not drink. Anyway, we'll come back to it later, whether we are friends or foes or what all. But I want to tell you what are the benefits of not having Rupinder in this world. First, there is no one to obstruct when I send a message on the Zoom chat. Nobody's going to yell at me that, hey, stop chatting, speaker on stage. Well, I know speaker on stage. I'm encouraging the speaker, but no. Second, at least for once, if not more, people will share the right screen. It is tough to be in a meeting and not see the right screen in the meeting. And not only that the person shows or shares the wrong screen, the person chooses the most inappropriate screen at that moment. That is a talent I would want to learn. Too bad it's late now. And number 3, we had also mentioned that in his funeral, during the service, we will serve Rajma Chawal. Every time he registers for an event, his standalone comment is, Rajma Chawal hona chahiye. That means there must be Rajma Chawal. Finally, I get to choose other options for food other than just Rajma Chawal. I know there are a lot of benefits of not having Rupinder, but yeah, Rupinder being there in the room, it was also good. After all, you had a scapegoat at whom you could target all your jokes at. You had one person, you know that you will not be the worst because you had Rupinder. You had one person who would make sure that you don't feel fat because he had a different definition of fat. So Rupinder did have some amazing moments, and he did give us some great opportunities to be the best versions of ourselves. But Rupinder, remember, in your life, there will be other moments. Oh, well, there won't be any. But in my life, there will be other moments, probably other Rupinder, but you will always be remembered. Congratulations on living a full life. I believe the timer was not showing the cards.
I apologize. That is my fault. I had not enabled the screen sharing. I've done that now.
Thank you.
Apart from the fact that you're going to have Rajma Chawal, I wish I could die today for that kind of a eulogy. Thank you very much, Shivpriya. Your second topic. Why I hate traveling. Why I hate traveling, Shivpriya?
All I wanted to do when I was a kid was to travel. I wanted to go in trains, buses, and flights. Then I grew up. I started paying for my own travel. This time, my daddy is not going to fund me. This time, my mom is not going to give me a traveler's check. I had to spend my own money. Do you know how difficult it is to live a life like me? Spend 90% of my income on food and then expect to actually save for travel? And what happens after you do? First, you go to something called an international airport. I never understood what's the difference between a national and international airport. And if you get stuck in a city like Mumbai, that's even worse. You know why? The national and the international airport has the same name. How many times you were actually stuck over there? And then they came up with something very interesting. They said, don't worry, we will ensure that all the domestic flights go from international airports only, so you have no problem. Do you know what does it mean? The crown just inundates. I am not going to pay 5 folds of the money just so that I could stand in line and not do anything. And because of some conspiracy of the travel agency, every time you get into an airport, you will have line in the security check. No matter what, even during pandemic, you will have a line. And that is something I'm not ready to go with. Number 2, even after a lot of stress and pressure and perseverance and hard work, you get into the flight. You don't fit into the seat. For 4.5 hours, my skull or my skeleton was temporarily displaced. I don't even remember how originally I was until I became like this. So I had a free plastic surgery. So that is something which I cannot take away from the airline. Finally, I got down. I deboarded. I wanted to deboard, but I couldn't. You know why? The airline will at least take 45 minutes to ensure that each and every person deboards. That means most of my trips are at the flight when the flight is not moving. It is constant. And they're trying to strategically remove people while all of us just want to rush out. And the most dreadful of all, no matter you sit in the first seat, pay extra to be the first person to get out. Your luggage will always be the last to come out. And this is a curse of any frequent traveler. So to conclude, I'm not even going to talk about how really waste or how insanely problematic the destination is. I'm not going to talk about how disappointing the overall trip is. Just the beginning of the trip will ensure that you sit at your home, save your money, probably log into Netflix or be a couch potato, but not travel. This is by far the worst or the most difficult speech I have ever given. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Can we unmute ourselves and give Shivpriya a huge round of applause? There can be bells and whistles as well. I do not mind. Okay, that was horrible attempt at whistling.
It's okay. I forgive you.
I have to go and get my eyes.
And that's when I muted you, whosoever was speaking. But Shivpriya honestly is a big sport. And thank you, Shivpriya, for taking this so sportingly. I know you'll probably hate me after giving you these topics, but hatred is something I grew to live with. Not our next speaker, though. His witticisms are more on the intellectual side. Now, before I call UT plus half 80 square Orinder, sorry, Shaurendra, because S is equal to UT plus half 80 squares. I'm big on physics today. Before I call him on stage, I would like to call his speech evaluator, Raj Mehta, to read out his speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Rupinder Singh Detia. Today, Surendra Bhaumik Detia would be giving a speech on which is of level 1, project 2, speech 1, and this is from the path team collaboration. The objective of this speech is to deliver a speech on any topic, receive feedback on the speech, then apply the feedback received today on the second speech of the same project in future. The topic of the speech is Let's Get Short, and the time of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to Toastmaster of the Day, Rupinder Singh Detia.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. I will now spotlight distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra Bhaumik as soon as I find him. Oh, there he is. I am spotlighting Shaurendra for everyone. Shaurendra, before we begin, can we do a smart audio video check, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. We can also
Can you see me?
We can also see you. We
Thank
can
you.
connect with you visually and orally as well. Now, Shaurendra Bhaumik, let's get short. Let's get short. Shaurendra Bhaumik.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, guests and Toastmasters. But let me ask you first, have you registered for getting the COVID-19 vaccine shot? No response? Well, I haven't also. Not as yet. You know, while nations and individuals compete with each other to see who is first in getting the COVID vaccine shot, I find myself following a, pehle aap, I mean, you first policy. This is not because I am what I'm called anti-vacciner. That is someone who is, for whatever reason, apprehensive of the various vaccines being rolled out and their adverse side effects and is against any inoculation. I don't want others to be experimental guinea pigs so as to make me feel safer than when I take the shot. You know, my reluctance to receive the shot stems from the fact that I have what in psychological jargon is termed as trypomania. Anyone knows what it is? Well, it's a deep-rooted fear of any medical procedure involving needles, which comes at the business end of a hypodermic syringe. In other words, when it comes to injections and blood tests and anything involving the puncturing of my skin, I'm a totally scared cat. I can trace this irrational fear to my childhood in Calcutta, when each year all of us were required to take an annual TABC shot, the initials standing for typhoid A and B and Corella, all of which were rife in those days. Some of you who are young wouldn't know about it, but in those days, typhoid and TB and other diseases were very prevalent. Well, let me tell you, the school doctor who did the needful, or rather the needleful, was Dr. Dicina, a buff, hearty fellow who took great pride in what he called his javelin throw method of administrating an injection, and which involved his fueling the hypodermic syringe like a spear into your arms to speed up the assembly line process involving few hundred school children. There was no disposable single-use syringes then, and the inoculation kit the doctor used resembled in size and shape like a holy pichkari, a color water-filled gun we used to spray colors during the festival of colors in India called Holi. Well, to that pichkari was attached what looked like a knitting needle and felt like when poked into your arms, it really was like a knitting needle being pushed in. The injection site, which swelled up into a painful swelling, which would subside after a few days, and on which the macho type boys like Rupinder would offer to trade punches with you to show who was the tougher guy. God bless me. Besides the above, mentioned reasons, I'm also very scared of getting any allergy after getting the COVID vaccine shot, as I am told. Further, Baba Ramdev, a known yogic, assured me that practicing yoga will help me not getting a COVID attack. And so I'm now taking his word and seriously contemplating or asking Toastmaster Gayatri to accept me as her disciple. No witticism intended there. Furthermore, they tell me that even after you take the vaccine shot, you still have to wear a mask. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Maintain social distancing. Can't be invited to my daughter's wedding or my friend's daughter's wedding, since I have still not made it into the first 50 invitee lists. And there are so many other precautions that I have to take. So does it really justify the painful and dreadful prick of the needle? No, not for me. Or should I go ahead and do the unbearable? I'm still contemplating. But I don't want to dissuade you fearless ones from not taking the shot. You guys in India, you need to register now for the COVID-19 vaccine at www.cowin.gov.in or download the COVID 20 app onto your smartphones. Remember that the vaccine is available to only those who have registered themselves on the website or app. As for me, those memories from my childhood have made a long life impression on me. Like a mind-recorded movie, which apparently could be called Jab We Meet. I will still contemplate my next move. Do I say, let's get shot, or just give it a pass? That's the million-dollar question. Help me in answering that question. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Can we unmute ourselves and give Shaurendra a rousing applause, please? Yes. Wow. Thank you, Shaurendra, for sharing that very thoughtful speech about COVID vaccine. And I do hope all of us avail of the same. Now, before I proceed further, I'm going to launch a poll for 30 seconds, and I will ask you to vote for the best speaker. And while that is going on, I will proceed to introduce our next role player. Our next role player has a superpower. You know what that superpower is? He can see in the dark. You know why he can see in the dark?
With the lights on.
No. He can see in the dark. That means no lights. He can see in the dark because he's a night owl. Owls can see in the dark.
Kill me
And
now.
why was it not enough that you are typing to everyone in the chat box? Why have I singled him out for this joke? Because I'm a role player. I'm not going to be called for table topics today. So with a huge round of applause, let us welcome our table topics master, our club president, Kapil Kakkar. Kapil, let me spotlight you and then let's check your audio and video. I don't know why I'm chatting to you when I'm supposed to be spotlighting you. Okay, can you do a very quick audio check?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yeah.
hear you. You are clearly audible and visible. I will mute all. Kapil, you can unmute yourself and start.
Okay, thank you, Rupinder. Now it's all about our fun part, table topics. So table topics, I would invite volunteers wherein they need to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Could I invite someone, or probably Naveen, if you could also.
Hello, good morning.
Naveen, do you want to attempt?
Yeah, sure, I'll give it a go.
Okay. And your topic is, what do you owe yourself? What do you owe yourself?
Fellow Toastmasters, good morning, good evening from wherever you are. It is said that what makes our life worth living is our giving and forgiving. Fellow Toastmasters, don't you feel that we owe a gratitude to everyone who has helped us in our life in any manner? Because we come across so many people to whom we are not able to express our feeling for any purpose, for any reason. So I owe myself a gratitude to all my close ones to whom I've not been able to express my feeling. Now, I started this mission just about a month ago when I felt that I'm not really good storyteller. Despite being in Toastmasters for such a long time, I felt there's something lacking in me. And over the time, I was able to realize that what I lacked was self-expression and gratitude and how I articulate my feeling towards others. So I took it on when one of my old mentor told me that is, start writing a small story every day. It can be of even 200 words, and just post it somewhere or share it with somebody. So this practice has been going on for almost a month now, and I felt a huge sense of relief by just writing small snippets of stories of even 200 words, or even 100 words, and exchanging them. I found it to be a part of therapy. I could realize something. I could think something new. I was able to explore that I've got some new qualities within me which I didn't have before this thing. So we owe to this world a lot of things which we just do not know we should. For example, expressing gratitude, knowing that you've got some new hobbies, or even knowing what you have to do ahead, how you have to structure or plan your life ahead. For example, now I've taken it on that I want to be a writer in a very small manner. I'm taking one step at a time, and I'm starting by writing a play, and I will be enacting in it, which is something I've not done before. So live your life in this manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen. It did not sound like an impromptu speech. Okay. Shakti Priya, do you want to attempt?
She's not in the room, Mr. Table Topic
Oh,
Master.
yeah.
You can ask the TMOD to attend on her behalf.
Let me invite Gayatri. Gayatri, do you want to attempt? And Rupinder, I do not want you to miss Gayatri speak. So, Gayatri, though you are not well, but I'm still asking you to attempt.
Yes, I'm ready.
May I request the Tech Master to spotlight Gayatri? Thank you.
Okay, Gayatri, your topic is advantages of being fat. Advantages of being fat.
Thank you so much, Mr. Table Topics Master. I have actually experienced it firsthand, the advantages of being fat. I was in Narmada Parikrama, wherein I was walking for about 3,500 kilometers. During this journey, I had to climb the mountains and also I had to climb them down. There was one particular mountain which was so steep, so steep, so steep, and climbing it down without wearing shoes was proving to be very difficult because there were a lot of pebbles over there were a lot of rocks over there, and a lot of thorns over there. At one point, I slipped and I fell down on my butt. Everybody was worried, what happened, what happened, what happened. Most of them were concerned that what if it is a fracture? There is no hospital for about 75 to 500 kilometers. What will we do with her? I stood up and everyone was shocked. Nothing happened? I said, no, there is too much fat in my butt to really reach that impact to my bones. Fatness actually helped me survive a fracture in past. One reason I do not regret being fat. Another important thing or benefit of being fat is that when you sit in a rickshaw, nobody really wants to sit next to you because they know they are going to be cramped. They are going to be cramped, so they prefer to sit aside and you get very, very, very spacious place. Third most important benefit of being fat is people assume that you eat a lot. So they keep on serving you good food. They keep on asking you for good food because they look at you, you're fat, and they know that your only loyalty in life is to food and nothing else. Thank you so much. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Gayatri. I think you know 100 advantages of being fat. It's just because of time constraint you couldn't go on. Khushbu, do you want to attempt?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Thank you. And your topic is what confuses you the most?
What confuses me the most? Well, every morning when I wake up and I enter my kitchen, the veggies and the fruits and the milk and all the grains confuses me the most. This is one confusion that I'm going through every day for past 9.5 years. What to cook in the kitchen today? What should be the menu? Because having 4 different people in the house, 4 different tastes and 4 different likings, and serving them a wholesome meal, ensuring that there is protein, carbohydrate, there is good amount of fiber, there's good amount of all the vitamins, everything gets into their body, and yet you cook something really delicious, delicious, and something interesting is a confusing job for me. So cooking good food and especially designing the everyday's menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is the most confusing job for me. Recently, my son asked me, I want a pancake. And my husband told me, I want something really nice today where I'm tired of eating the same poha upma, the Indian regular breakfast. Now imagine the condition of one woman, how she will cook an Italian pancake and something nice which is not an Indian regular breakfast. So the most confusing job is definitely the designing menu for an Indian family every morning and writing down the whole day plan, ensuring that you provide all the minerals, nutrition, because you are a nutrition, you are a chef, you are a working woman, you are everything, and you have to do everything. So that is the most confusing job. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Khushbu. Very well done. Nitasha?
I think Natasha is away from the keyboard.
We have Rajesh.
Okay.
No, I'm here.
Oh, great. Lovely.
Shall I give you one topic, Nitasha?
Yeah, sure. Let me try.
Okay. Your topic is, what is your worst fear? What is your
What is
worst
my
fear?
biggest fear?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Natasha. I am a Toastmaster of 2 clubs from Bangalore, and it's a pleasure to join in with you this morning. Someone told me that the acronym for fear is face everything and rise. And that is something that I have learned to follow in my life. Whenever you are faced with a difficult circumstance or an unknown issue, and you don't know what to do with it, the only thing that comes to my mind is face it head on. What is the worst that can happen? You will fail, but that's okay. Even in failure, there is a learning. You learn what you could have done better. You learn what is it that went wrong. Let me narrate a little story to you. I've recently relocated to India from New York. So the first time that I went to the US and I was out of gas, which is petrol, I went into a gas station and I had no idea what to do. And of course, I was paralyzed with fear. I looked around and I asked the gentleman next to me, can you help me fill gas? And the first thing he did, he looked me up and down and he said, what? You don't know how to fill gas? Are you the Queen of England? Well, that was surely a learning. My fear stayed with me, but then I went back home. I asked my husband, take me to the gas station and teach me how to do that. So for those of you who are ever in a difficult situation or in an unknown circumstance, face everything and you will surely rise. So with that, back to you, table topic master.
Thank you. Very wonderfully articulated, Natasha. Thank you so much. Sumit?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead.
Okay. Sumit, your topic is happy marriage is a myth.
Perfect.
As some of you know that I sometime when I'm in the Toastmaster speeches, I am accompanied with my wife, so I cannot probably give you complete picture of how the marriage maybe for few of us, but the happy marriage is a myth that's real. Reason being that it's all up to you that how you remain happy. It's not about the marriages that will make you happy. Most of the time you will find some reason or other reason to fight, and when you do have that reasons, you know that you have to keep your mouth shut, and if you speak, then your happiness is surely will go away. So that means that if you are if you can keep silence and if you can keep your mouth shut, then you can probably live a happy life. But having a happy marriage, that's not possible unless and until you learn the art of keeping silent, keeping your mouth shut. So happy marriages are myth. Today my wife is not around, so I can say all this. Otherwise, it would have been today would be not a happy day for me. So over to you, table topping master.
Thank you, Sumit. Thank you. Okay. Amit Tandon. Shall I give you one topic? Else you can
Yeah,
put
sure.
some.
I can try.
Okay. Simple one. You're going to get a simple one. What worries you about your future?
Okay.
What worries you about your future?
Okay. Life is okay. Let's roll back a little bit. Let's roll back to 2020 and see what happened. Life was absolutely normal when the year started, and life was absolutely normal when the year started. Then someone started talking about a certain coronavirus, as it started being called. Suddenly, one fine day. There was a nationwide lockdown that was imposed. In this current day and age, the way everything has been going, at least for the past 20 years, for what I have immediate recollection, never has been a nationwide lockdown to such a great extent been imposed. So this entire uncertainty in the way things happen and in the way things are, just in the way life is, the uncertainty of life is something that really scares me. It's um, you don't have I mean, we basically, even after all the technological advancements, everything, we really don't have the capability to or we are really dwarfed by situations sometimes. And these are the kind of things that really scare me these days, in the sense that on one hand we are talking about all sorts of technological advancements, all sorts of advancements we are doing in the field of medicine. There are laser eye surgeries, and everything is just getting everything is getting treated from the surface. There is no incision where surgeries are concerned, and then suddenly there comes a virus which absolutely bowls over the entire world. So that is the thing that scares, that is the uncertainty. We can that's something that is something that probably does not fall in line for me. Back to you.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you so much. I see Rajesh.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, Rajesh. So I think it is the last topic of the day. And your topic is your definition of an ideal day.
Your definition of a?
Of an ideal day, or how do you like to spend how do you like to spend a day?
Yes. Thank you for giving me such a wonderful topic. I can give you a past. Means I was living like a miserable life. Means I never care all those things, whether I am fat or whether I am healthy or unhealthy. I own my life. But last 1 year, when I started, when I was playing cricket, I fell down, and for almost 6 months, I was unable to walk because of my God's problem, uric acid problem. Then I started, when I was there in the bed, then I started thinking how I can start my life, how I can means now it is only 35, 36. But after 10 means still my son is only 5 years old. So how I can do all those things? And so in future, how I can survive? Then I started thinking all those things. Uh, One day I started thinking that yes, I have to walk and I have to reduce my weight. All those things I need to do. Then uh, last 3 months or last 4 months, I am started working. Means morning I started walking for more than 5 to 10 kilometers, and I reduced my weight. Not means I diet. I did the diet control also, and from 90 kg to I reduced now 75 kg. So in this way, I control my diet as well as I started my day. I started praying gods, which I was not doing earlier. I was starting reading the Bhagavad Gita and spending some time with my wife as well as children also. That way, I started means when so at the end every day I start in the morning when I woke up. I pray for sometimes. Then I went for walk and uh, do my household work. After that, I would complete my work. Then I spend some time with my family or the children. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you so much. I think we can have one more. We have some time.
Let's have the TMOD.
We have Ruchita who hasn't spoken. So
We can have two more.
Ruchita? Can you hear us?
Ruchita, are you there? If not, let's look to close then.
Oh, I think Amelia wanted to speak. Okay. So, Amelia, your topic is whenever you find key to success, someone changes the lock. Whenever you find key to success, someone changes the lock.
What a wonderful topic, table topic master for today. Whenever I find the key to success, somebody surely changes the lock. As a child, I've been a very dreamy eyed and happy go lucky girl who wanted to just have a simple, sweet, and beautiful life. Well, at the age of 9, when I was almost flourishing as a student, my mother fell sick. That was the time I was interested in debates and other competitions, but I had to take a back seat and take care of my household as well at the age of 9 and 10, which was too critical. She was not so healthy that so I had to work a lot at home as well. Well, this was the time when my speaking skills took a back seat. So I was maybe going to rock and roll, but then the key was taken away. The second time when it happened was when I was on the stage, but I was not prepared. It was in class 10th. So this particular setback led to another setback. I didn't know how to prepare. I didn't know what to do. My teachers told me prepare for your favorite topics or anything that you want to, but I was too shy to ask because then I thought I'm a grown up girl and what would people say if I would just go and ask what to do? They'll not think good about me. And that kind of feeling, procrastination or that uncertainty of being judged made me fail again on the stage. Second time, when I could have rocked the stage, I did not. The third time was when I was in a competition with other people for a freshers party. And then at the freshers party, it's a something that's it's same thing that happened. So 3 times, yes, the key to success has been taken away. Over to you.
Thank you, Amelia. Very well articulated. Thank you so much. I think with this, we can close this table topic section, and I thank all the speakers. Rupinder, now I would like to hand over the virtual stage to you to take the meeting forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master, for conducting a wonderful table topic session. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Table Topics Master? Now, applause is done. The next role player that I am going to call on stage, disclaimer, she does not smoke, but she's been sporting enough that I can tell a joke about her which is related to smoking. Now it so happened that Alisa was in a boat in the middle of a river. She had a cigarette and she had a matchbox, but the matchbox did not have any matches. Alisa wanted to have a smoke. She had to light the cigarette. How can she light the cigarette? Simple. She throws the matchbox into the water. The boat becomes lighter. And she uses that lighter to light her cigarette. I know you probably want to kill me, or you want to kill yourself. And that, in a way, is feedback. And feedback is what the next session is about. Let me invite Alisa Schneider, our general evaluator, on stage.
Thank you so much, Rupinder. That was an excellent, excellent tie-in from the joke to the next session of evaluation, which we are now going to conduct. As general evaluator, I have been tirelessly taking notes throughout all the meeting of all the wonderful things that this meeting has brought about, and maybe chance some things that we can work on. But before we get on to that report, the first report we want to hear this morning is that of our evaluators who were observing and taking notes during each of the prepared speeches. So I would like to call on stage our first evaluator of the morning, Haritika, who will be evaluating the speeches given by Shivpriya. Over to you, Haritika.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. The speeches given by Shivpriya was literally awesome. It was more like a table topic, but you took it more like a prepared speech. I couldn't find any point like you were doing flustering here or there. But only recommendation I could give you is you could have a class tumbler instead of a glass. So come to the dark humor and all evology at Rupinder's funeral. I was literally like, what is she going to take now? You were literally, I was shocked to see how you took the topic. It was wonderful. And the next topic, why I hate traveling. As much as I know that you love traveling, and you took this topic even better. And so I have no recommendations for you. You are literally awesome. Your modulation hand gestures were awesome. You had wonderful diction also. So that's all from my
Thank you so much, Haritika, for that evaluation of Shivpriya's speeches, because she had two. It's not easy. It's not easy evaluating people who have been some time in Toastmasters. So very brave of you to take on that challenge and give her some productive and constructive feedback. Next, I would like to call on our second evaluator for this morning, Raj Mehta, who will be evaluating Surinder Bhaumik's speech for today. So with that, over to you, Raj.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hello, hello, hello. And I was straightened up on my seat. How have you responded to the call of COVID-19 vaccination? And I was sure that I am going to have some information. But kudos to this speaker that information came with entertainment and inspiration, all bundled in one single speech. In his speech, the speaker told us about his experience as far as vaccination is concerned. He told us about his childhood experience, how he feared whenever he was supposed to get vaccinated or injected for diseases like typhoid. In this same speech, we experience his different volumes, volume as well as expressions like scare, like fears, and laughter. Needleful, jab we met, movement, no. And while maintaining social distancing, closer to when he came closer to the camera whenever he wanted to emphasize on particular topic. At the same time, he involved members in the audience like Rupinder and Gayatri. And above all, he gave us the information about the website which can be used for getting ourselves registered. All in one single speech. Wow, what a delivery and what a content it was. But at the same time, I felt that there were some instances, there were some opportunities which could have been taken care of. For example, use of Hindi words. As far as possible, try to avoid words from other languages, though these were explained in English, but it is always advisable not to use Hindi words or words from any other language. And second recommendation is that the speaker had tried to adjust the camera. And after adjusting the camera, the level of his, or he was not fully visible, his head had gone down. So instead of doing it during the speech, it is always advisable that do it before the speech, because we always give a chance to the speaker to check whether he is visible or audible or not. And at times, I also felt that he was reading from some script. Maybe it was necessary because some difficult words or some tough words or in medical terms. But all in all, it was a great speech, having entertainment, inspiration, and call to action, because at the end he said, yes, we should get ourselves registered. And I'm looking forward to the next speech on the same project. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Raj. Excellent evaluation. And yes, now we are going to vote for the best speech evaluator. So we would ask that each one of you would select which one stood out to you the most this evening. We'll give you a few seconds for that, and then we will move forward with the next part of this evaluation
Elisa,
process.
You can move ahead.
Yes.
You can move ahead,
Perfect.
Elisa.
All done? Okay, great. So up next for this evening in terms of the evaluation process was to see how did we do with table topics and did we meet all our goals in this area. Now tonight we had 8 table topic participants. It's a little difficult to go through each and every one, but I would like to mention one thing from each of you that I thought was absolutely outstanding. And then in general, give you some recommendations as a group. So Naveen, I absolutely loved your table topic, how you started out with confidence. I felt like you knew exactly what you were going to say, and that's how you came across with many examples so that we can understand you. Gayatri, you were so brave to take on a table topic the way that you're feeling. I think you're an example to all of us. And I loved your story, the fact that you had 3 reasons. You gave us 3 examples for your topic. Khushbu, I thought your topic was outstanding as well. And how you gave us very interesting details. You talked about proteins, carbs, vitamins, how you have to please 4 people, 4 taste, and really allowed us to get into that table topic with you and join you in that aspect. Natasha, absolutely fantastic acronym. You started us right in describing what you felt fear, how you said fear is to face everything and rise. And you continued with this theme throughout your whole table topic. It felt super connected, and I think it was very easy to follow along. Sumit, your recommendation was simple but straightforward and easy to remember. Sometimes keeping it simple is the best way to go. And you said to us in marriage situations, keep silence, keep your mouth shut. And I think that's one we can definitely remember. Amit, I loved how you said, let's roll back a bit and let's go backwards. And so you kind of found your place as you did the table topic and then fully elaborated on the topic that you had been given. I thought it was certain things that you explained to us that were very relatable, and then we could understand where you were going with that. Rajesh, I absolutely loved your enthusiasm. You just gave us different examples of dieting and what that meant for you. And at times you would smile. And I think that energy just comes through on the camera and allows us to identify and relate with you. And Amelia, again, you were also very, very confident. I love that. You gave us 3 examples. And anytime that you can give those 3 examples, it's easier for the audience to follow along, especially when you give that summary at the end. So these are all the things that I really loved about our table topic participants tonight. A few recommendations, I'm just going to give them in general and you can use them as needed. One thing about table topics is that it's kind of difficult to maintain that eye contact because we're thinking about what we're going to say and in the moment, you know, we're making it up as we go. So to always try to focus in on the camera is great. Another thing that it's easy to forget is to use our hand gestures. Because we're virtual, then it's hard. It's easy to just speak into the camera, but if you can bring your hands up a little bit, it will help to keep that audience focused on what you have to say. There was 1 or 2 people, or maybe 1 person, who could have taken their topic a little bit further. And if you get to the green, and if you can, try to give us a few more things so that we can remember better what you're trying to say and that it will come across in an easy way. Let's see, there's 1 person who didn't have their camera on. That's something that if you do turn it on, it's so much easier to be able to pay attention to what's going on. One recommendation, one more for table topics, is just when you do give that topic, try to limit it. So instead of giving us 10 different ideas, try to just pick either 1 or pick 3 and talk about those things. And finally, I just want to say once again, excellent job, everybody. Great job, great table topics. I love that so many people got to participate tonight. So thank you very, very much. And I didn't see the time cards for this section, but whoever for the timing, just make sure you keep us on track as we proceed with the rest of this meeting. Next up, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to move on with our tag team for this evening. They've done a fantastic job keeping us on track. And now we're going to hear, did we or did we not meet our resolutions for this meeting of 2021? So let's start calling on stage each of our role players to give their report, starting with our grammarian for this evening, Amelia Said, who will let us in on how we did in terms of the keywords and our grammar. So over to you, Amelia Said.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. I'm ready with my report. So let me start with the word of the day. The word of the day was used twice by our General Evaluator, Elisha Rupinder once and Shaurendra once. Now, let's get on to the good usage. Good usage of words by Rupinder, power of humor, and I would say a lot of other words which I could not record because I was just busy understanding the jokes, and that humor was tricky today morning. But power of humor definitely striked. Shiv Priya as a speaker used the benefit of having Rupinder around, travelers check strategically, and all these lovely words. The use of words by Naveen was giving is forgiving and therapy. Gayatri says too much fat, cramped, and loyalty. Khushbu used really nice. Veggies confuse me. Nice phrase. Nitasha used circumstances and one short sentence. Even in failure, there's a learning, which was amazing. Sumit used myth and keeping silent. Then Amit used one fine day and uncertainty. Rajesh used reduce weight and diet control. Now let's come to little not so good usage. There was a mention of pehle aap, which can be translated into English as after you. That would be a good way to say. Staying silent, there was somewhere this kind of usage was there. So it cannot be staying silent. It should we can remain silent or be silent. That is the thing that is there, which was really confusing, and that can be put in a way that is the fact of life, or it is something which is happening nowadays. I never cared was the right usage at that point of time. And there were a lot of pronunciation errors in all the speakers, which I'm not going to bring out right now. I'm sure the speakers are, they would be able to get it and check it out on their own. I'll leave it up to them. And that's my report.
Thank you so much, Amelia, for that full report. It's wonderful to know what we did well and what we can still improve for next time. So thank you so much for letting us know how we met those goals and those resolutions for this meeting. I would like next to call on stage our counter for tonight, Sheila McIntyre, with her report. All yours, Sheila McIntyre.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Tonight, we did not meet our goals. However, there was a couple that I would like to bring attention to as perfect scores. Are you able to see my screen? Shivpriya, in her first impromptu speech, had 0 filler words. Awesome job, good job, good job. In addition to that, our Sergeant at Arms, Ruchita, had 0 as well. As you can see at the bottom, I counted up the total number of, in particular, ums or uhs. Those were primarily the words that were used in that way, 63 for tonight's meeting. So I'd like to see that come down a bit. In second place were and or so, which were 14, and then a double crutch was 11. And each person had a variety of things that they struggled with, but primarily the uhs were the big culprit tonight. Next week we can do better. I know we can. Over to you, Elisa, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Sheila. We really appreciate your report and for helping us to know what goals we met and which ones we still need to work on. So next week, our challenge is set. Thank you so much. Last but not least, I would like to call for the timer report for this morning with Avjinder Singh. Over to you, Avjinder.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Let me read out directly the timer report. The first one, Shivpriya, though there was a technical issue and we were not able to show up the cards on time, but still, that's the beauty of a seasoned Toastmaster. The person, when she starts the speech, she finishes on time. So the first speech was finished on time. That was 2 minutes, 54 seconds. The second one was 3 minutes, 32 seconds, so which was a little off. The second speech for Surendra was 7 minutes, 21 seconds within the grace period, so that qualifies. For table topics, Naveen took 2 minutes and 1 seconds on time. Gayatri took 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Khushbu took 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Natasha took 1 minute, 56 seconds to complete her speech. Sumit took 1 minute, 12 seconds. Amit took 2 minutes, 38 seconds, so which was over the time. Rajesh took 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Amelia took 2 minutes, 17 seconds. For evaluations, Haritika took 1 minute, 15 seconds to complete her evaluation. And Raj took 3 minutes, 28 seconds to complete his evaluation on Surendra. So that qualifies for that. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Avjinder, for that excellent report on the time. Rupinder, do we vote now or is this at the end? Excellent. So who do you think was the best auxiliary role player this evening? Go ahead and vote for the person who in your mind stood out the most. And while you are finishing up with that section, I believe it is time to proceed with the general evaluation for this evening. Now, it's interesting because everything in this meeting gets evaluated except for the general evaluator. So I would like to allow you and invite you at the end of this to give me a report if you have anything. You can send it privately, but I'm happy to listen. We all have goals. Oftentimes we start the new year thinking, what are the goals? And then at the end of the year, we say, have we met those goals? And in my evaluation tonight, I would love to highlight all the different goals that have been met. I just think that this club has so many excellent qualities, which have been coming up all throughout the night. We started on time. Fantastic. Rupinder kept us on track. 8:30, he said, sharp. And that was how it started. Everybody knew what their role was. Everybody was prepared and presenting and passing it over from one to the other. I absolutely love that this club is always so organized. I've been to clubs where 5 minutes after the hour, they're trying to figure out who's going to do grammarian, who's going to do the au contraire. Not here. Everything was set. Everything is in order. Everybody is ready to go. Not only that, but we were presented with a great theme tonight by Rupinder, who entertained us with his different jokes from the very first moment when he started. Jokes all the way through and pertaining to some of the speakers, relating them to the theme. It was great. And I love the creativity of that. It's absolutely amazing. Again, I've gone to meetings where they don't have a theme and it can kind of all feel the same. So I love so much from one meeting to the next, how much it changes and varies and how each person brings their talent and their abilities to the meeting, and it adds a whole new level. I would like to congratulate the audience in general because overall, the majority of the people had their screens turned on. So I kept counting and I would say it was overall 11 people that had their screens turned on, and then some of the time 7 people did not. So that's still a majority, 11 to 7. And that's fantastic for the speakers to be able to see the reactions on screen. Also, I absolutely love all of the vibe, the feeling. When the speakers were giving their speeches, I could just see the faces and we're interacting. The audience is interacting, they're shouting, they're excited, they're participating. And that's fantastic feedback because even though we're not in person, we can still relate our emotions through the screen. And I think to be able to transmit to the speaker what that speech makes you feel is absolutely important. So I want to congratulate the audience again on that. Let's see, so much enthusiasm. And going back to the Toastmaster of the night, just such a great pace. That's something that we can all, I think, learn from. In my case, it's easy to talk quickly, but the Toastmaster of the night kept us steady, kept us constant, and kept us smiling. So it was absolutely great. I want to thank our table topic master for this evening for his great role and in getting all of the so many different participations. It's great to listen in a Toastmaster meeting, but it's even better if you have a chance to speak. So I love that you pick different people who aren't necessarily involved in the meeting and who do not have a role. I think that's essential. I also enjoyed that the questions were fantastic. One recommendation for the table topic master might be to use some kind of a visual, just to change it up a little bit, just to get the audience more interested in what's going on and perhaps so they have a better idea of what's happening. Also, it would be interesting to tie in the table topic questions with the theme. I know that can sometimes be a little tricky, but it's something to keep in mind, just so that the meeting has a constant flow and a specific focus for where we're going. But overall, excellent, and great table topic participations. In terms of the evaluators, I want to congratulate our evaluators for this evening who did a fantastic job. Haritika, every time you come on screen, I'm just so motivated by your enthusiasm, your smile. You just like light up the world. And I love hearing you speak. You had a tough job evaluating Shivpriya, but I think
You did it with great enthusiasm, and so that was outstanding. One recommendation might be to try to meet that 1 to 3 minutes and add a little more content. So you could perchance mention some of the things that that Shivpriya mentioned in her speech, maybe a little bit more content, as well as define whether or not she met the objectives of her speech. But other than that, it was great, fantastic, great hearing you. Raj, you had so many positive things to say, and then also you went into some important recommendations. So I thought you had a great balance of what's great and what's to work on. Once again, it might be good to hear some of the objectives of the speech and know whether or not they were met. As for the role players, fantastic, fantastic job. Sheila, I loved how you highlighted certain ahs and ums, but you didn't go into too much detail. You showed us on the screen and we could see it. The grammarian report was great job with that. And one recommendation might be to just put the word not only in the chat, but maybe even substitute your name on screen with the word of the day so that we have it present all the time and we can remember to use it. Otherwise, it's easy for it to get forgotten. But excellent job with the report. Great job with the timer. Avjinder, I think you do well at all the roles that are suggested for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, so many goals met tonight. So many things learned this evening that I would like to say that this has been a great success. And I hope to see you next week and continue learning and growing together and accomplishing all that we've set out to do. And with that, I would love to hand it off to our Toastmaster of the evening and his humorous end, Rupinder Singh.
I have a broken nose. I broke it, and that is why my screen was off. You know why I have a broken nose? Because of last night. Last night I was in a Toastmasters meeting and I had this virtual background behind me, so I didn't know who was standing behind me. And there were 3 beautiful women there. They asked me, Rupi, how are you feeling? And I replied, I am 48 years old. I'm talking to 3 beautiful women, half my age. How many people can say that at 48? And then I sensed a presence in the room. I turned back. It was my wife. At that point, she just ran out of the room and shut the door behind her. While Elisa was giving her wonderful general evaluation report, I went there to talk to her. You know what she said to me? This is the reason I don't join Toastmasters. You will make fun of me like you were making fun of me last evening. I said, no, we provide a supportive and positive. Bang! The door closed on my nose, and hence a broken nose. Point I'm trying to tell everyone is, it is an art telling horrible jokes. I tried to master that art today. I've tried to gauge the science behind it. I have a broken nose to show for it. Do not indulge in it unless you are very sure of it. With that, I will hand it back to Kapil, our presiding officer. Let me spotlight you.
Thank you, Rupinder. Hope your nose gets better soon. Okay, it's time to take feedback from our guests. Natasha, can we start with you first? How you felt about today's meeting?
Hi, good morning again. I chanced upon this meeting login about 10 minutes late in the WhatsApp group, and I'm so grateful I got a chance to participate. What I particularly enjoyed was the, how meticulously the meeting was carried out. And I'm quite amazed at the table topic speakers. Each of them were absolutely brilliant. I'm not sure if they're all members of your club, but I really enjoyed every aspect of your meeting today. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to having you in our club in Bangalore sometime.
Thank you, Nitasha. Thank you so much.
I'm
Amelia?
sorry, my children are both my children are having online classes, so I'm unable to turn on the video because there's a lot of chaos happening around me.
Okay, that's okay. Amelia? Feedback from your end?
Hi. It's Blue Quest is not unfamiliar to me. I've been to Blue Quest physical meetings as well. And right at 8:30 in the morning, being in a Toastmasters meeting is a different experience. So I just want to say that the keepers of the club are doing great, and I want to wish them all the best.
Thank you. Okay, now I turn it over to Khushbu, and Khushbu is no longer a guest. She's taking a migration from her Jaipur club to Blue Quest club. So we are in the process of documentation. So let's welcome Khushbu as our Blue Quest member. Khushbu, one last feedback as a guest.
Thank you so much. And it was I joined late, but I really liked. It was my first experience that a speaker is given topic on the spot. That was something which I really learned today when Shivpriya was talking. And then Natasha, I loved your table topic. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. So yeah, it was a great meeting. Thank you so much. And I'm a member now. Thank you for having me over here. Thank you so much.
Rupinder, I will get in touch with you because I have her form with me. So just want to know how we can, okay. Haritika, I know that you are bored of giving feedback, but I would still love to hear from you. I think she cannot hear us. Raj sir.
I really like the theme and the Toastmaster of the day, and also the evaluation and the speeches, especially of both the speakers, because both are excellent. I am looking forward to many more better speeches, meetings. Thank you very much. I will do some work.
Okay. Gayatri, if you want to say something, it's okay. Otherwise, we understand. Okay. Rupi, with that, I think we can. You can float the results of the poll, and in the meanwhile, I can take up next week's talk.
Can we ask Amit to give his feedback on the first meeting that he attended today in Toastmasters?
Yes, certainly, sir. Certainly.
It was a lovely day for me specifically, in the sense that I actually got to see the amount of times I was doing my ahs and oohs, in a very statistical manner. I am generally a very data-driven guy. So when someone presents feedback to me like that, it's a real eye-opener for me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first round of speeches as well. I think they were great. The table topic speech on fear, as well as the first one, it was pretty good. And I will certainly be looking forward to Wednesday morning, 8:30 p.m. next week, 8:30 a.m. next week.
Thank you, Amit.
So,
thank you. Yes, Rupinder, over to you.
All right, we are ready with our certificates. We have this automated system that will send certificates by email. But before that, a small ceremony to celebrate the best of the best, starting with the best table topic speaker. So we choose 3 best speakers because today we had 9 speakers who spoke. So 3 best speakers, starting from the reverse order. The best table topic speaker number 3 was Naveen Parwal. And he is always in the mix every time he comes. Great job, Naveen. Keep up the good work. We have, I think, a new entrant to the table topic speaker number 2, the best, second best table topic speaker. No, she's a veteran with a broken jaw or a broken tooth. I don't know what is broken. I should not be talking about broken things. Many congratulations, Gayatri Deshmukh. Very well done. But what I do know for sure that the person who's getting the best table topic speaker award today richly deserves it, number 1. And her topic has been the most talked about topic today. Let's face everything and rise. Congratulations, Nitasha Kumar. Many congratulations. The best speech evaluator last week, Shaurendra Bhaumik evaluated Raj. This week, Raj evaluated Shaurendra Bhaumik. He returned the favor. And he also gets the best speech evaluator. Many congratulations. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. The best auxiliary role player award. Now, this is something that gives me great joy because it's not every time that this role wins this award. Usually it is the grammarian who takes away the reward. Sorry for giving it away. It is not the grammarian today. It is our counter, Sheila McIntyre. Very well done, Sheila. Very happy for you. Great job. And let's go for the best role player. I did my best to throw her off balance. I made a joke about her. I tried every trick in the book. I broke my nose for this award, but I'm not getting it because the one who gets it richly deserves it for her excellent general evaluation. Congratulations, Elisa Schneider. Great job. Now, as far as the best speaker is concerned, well, anytime you get to talk about Rupinder's funeral, you will find humor in it and you will make people laugh. So many congratulations, Shivpriya Kauri. Now, with a single click of this button, I will send the certificates by email. They should be hitting your inboxes right about now. If not, I will check and revert to you. Thank you very much for being so patient today, both with my Toastmaster of the Day performance and with this. With that, I will stop sharing the screen. Back to you, Kapil. We already have a few nominations, Kapil. So while you were thinking of what all is going to happen, Sheila volunteered to be the Toastmaster of the Day next week, which means that Alisa has her task cut out. She is her mentor. Sheila, if you need any help from my side, you are more than welcome to do that. Thank you, Nitasha, for sharing your email address. I will add you. I will make sure that the certificate reaches you. Thank you very much. And I have volunteered myself to be the table topics master to escape Shivpriya's wrath so that I still don't get a table topic. I know she will be table topic master one day and she will try her level best to get back at me.
Yes.
We have one speaker. We have Ruchita Malik, who did not give her speech today. She's giving it next week.
We have Khushbu as well. She also volunteered for that.
Okay, Khushbu. One thing for all the speakers, please send me your speech details before Saturday because the agenda should be generated by then. This week we had to wait on the speech, the speakers. So we have one.
Took on the role.
Beg your pardon?
also has. Payal has said that she will the role that she missed.
Grammarian, yeah.
Payal will take on grammarian. Yes. Payal. Okay. Got it. Sheila is taking on Toastmaster of the day. Sheila, let me know the theme of the meeting because I'll need a poster. I will also need a photograph from your side. Sharendra,
Okay.
you've
When do you
not-
want the topic by?
possibly by
Saturday?
tomorrow, latest by tomorrow. Okay, I'll make it your
Not gonna
evening.
happen.
I'll make it your evening tomorrow. That will be my Saturday morning. Since you
Okay.
asked for Saturday.
Okay.
My streak of horrible jokes is still continuing. Sharendra, why don't you take up general evaluator? It's been a while since you've taken it up. Let's show the world how
I'll do
general
that.
evaluation
I'll
is
do
done. Thank you.
Rupinder, Natasha
can't
has
beat any
also
of that.
nominated.
For
She has offered to play whatever role we need.
Natasha, would you want to do a speech evaluation because the speech evaluation is open?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I'll give you a speech evaluation.
I've sent my email. in
Yes, I've got
the,
it.
chat.
I will share it. I will update the certificate as well. You will also get the agenda on email. I will send it across.
Okay.
Anybody else? Raj, how about timer, accountant, grammarian, one of them? But I think you travel, so for you, a full-time role kind of becomes. So should I keep you as an evaluator or as a speaker?
Speaker, not sure, but evaluator, yes.
Okay, so you
Can I
are.
take up a speaker if that's okay with you? Or
Okay.
you wouldn't want back-to-back speeches from me if that's
I actually reached out to Shakti, asked her if she wants to give a speech. So if she refuses, then I will have you as a speaker.
so one of the Esprit Gauri's DTM, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, no problem. I'll do that.
Any other day, I would have stopped Shipriya from saying that, but I guess she gets her energy from this. So that was a wonderful speech, by the way. Remember
Thank
that
you.
energy.
Thank you so much. My mother says that the only humor I could do is dark humor. So I don't know whether it's a
I
compliment
think
or
it was more about you wanted to getting back at me.
that is true.
I'm signing off.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so
Sumit.
much.
Sumit, timer, accountant, grammarian, one of those.
Grammarian is Payal, so timer and account.
Timer, accountant, Sumit.
I'll take accountant.
Okay.
Got the.
And we still need a timer.
Thank you so much, Natasha, for joining us.
Kapil, timer.
Thank you, Amelia, for joining us.
Chalega.
Kapil or Gayatri, you want to do timer?
I mean, if nobody is there, I can take it up. Otherwise, I will be table topic speaker.
I was thinking of you as an evaluator.
I know, that is why I was nominating myself for timer.
Avjendra, will you do an evaluation next week?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take the evaluation.